Hello, everybody, and welcome to the APAC-SCA Member Spotlight Series, where we feature the people and the organizations driving innovation across the entire CellAg ecosystem. And through short conversation, we highlight members' work, insights, and vision for the future of CellAg. And today, we are very, very pleased to feature Vipul Jain from Cellular Agriculture Ltd. as we explore their journey, the organization's mission, and what's next for the industry. So welcome, Vipul, to the call.
Thank you, Peter. It's a pleasure to be here, and we are delighted to be joining the APAC-SCA community.
Thank you, Vipul. And also, Cellular Agriculture Ltd is one of our newest members to the society, so we're super excited to have you. And so moving right into the question, number one. Okay, so Cellular Agriculture Ltd was founded back in 2016. It was one of the very first companies in this space globally. So it's very great to have you as an incoming member to APAC-SCA. Maybe you can start off by giving us a brief overview of your company, maybe share a bit about the journey, but also some of the key milestones that you accomplished.
Sure. Talking about Cellular Agriculture Ltd, so we are a company of many firsts. The company was started way back in 2016, as you mentioned. We are the first UK and European company in this sector. And when it comes to enabling technologies in this industry, we are world's first. We are the first company in this sector to derive government support, and that was through a UKRI grant in 2017. We are the first company to publicly demonstrate enabling technology for cultivated food, and that was done at Neuroscience Museum in Amsterdam through the summer of 2019. In 2022, we secured our Series A investment from Hilton Foods, and in 2024, we moved to our own R&D facility at Cosham Science Park in southwest of England. And in 2024 itself, we also had multiple successful runs of world's longest hollow fiber bioreactor for any cell culture application in the industry. In 2025, we deployed our bench scale system at Camden BRI, which is one of the largest food research organizations in the UK. In 2025, we have also co-invested with Merck into Edimembre, which is a company working on edible fibers. And we just commissioned our pilot plant as we have been scaling up, and now we have moved to pilot scale. And our pilot plant has been just commissioned, and we are expecting a full run in the next couple of weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you, Vipul. And one of the things that you mentioned was your hollow fiber bioreactor. And I think we go into more of the tech side now. So maybe regarding the bioreactor, is described as sort of mimicking the body's own vascular system. So for our audience here who may not have an engineering background, can you explain in simple terms, what it means and why it matters for, cell density and cost?
Of course. I think the easiest way to think about it is to imagine the body's network of tiny blood vessels. And those vessels deliver oxygen and nutrients to cells and carry away waste, all in a very efficient and natural way. Our hollow fiber bioreactor takes inspiration from the same idea. Inside the bioreactor, there are many very small fibers, and these fibers act like tiny delivery channels. They allow nutrients and oxygen to reach the cells while also helping remove waste from the culture environment. So if we can create an environment where cells receive what they need efficiently, we can grow more cells in a compact space, enabling lower footprint. And that, in turn, significantly reduces capital and operational expenditures. For food, cost is essential. And for biopharma, productivity and consistencies are essential. And that is why this technology has value across multiple sectors.
And one of the things that you have described before is regarding having the world's longest hollow fiber bioreactor for cell culture. So what was the engineering challenge in scaling up, and what did it teach you about what the real bottlenecks are in this industry?
I think the main challenge is that scaling is not simply making something bigger. When you increase the size of a bioreactor, you have to maintain the right environment for the cells throughout the entire system. And that means managing, critical parameters like flow, pressure, oxygen transfer, nutrient delivery, waste removal, sterility, and consistency. What we learned is that the real bottleneck in this industry is often the connection between biology and engineering. You need good cells, you need good culture media, but you also need a production environment that can perform reliably at scale. And that has shaped our strategy. Many companies in this sector want to focus on their end products. I mean, like some companies are working on cultivated meat, seafood, dairy, coffee, chocolate, or biopharma. Our job is to provide that enabling infrastructure so our partners can focus on their products and markets.
So I assume that one of your platform is definitely being species agnostic, meat, fish, shellfish, and milk, and so on. So how important is that flexibility to your business model, and which application are you seeing the strongest pull from right now?
Absolutely. Flexibility is central to our business model. As I mentioned that we have got like different companies operating across the value chain. Some of them are focusing on cell lines, culture media, some of them are focusing on the end product like cultivated meat, seafood, dairy, coffee, chocolate, or biopharma. Our work here at Cellular Agriculture Limited is to ensure that we help these companies, scale faster, cut production cost, and shorten their time to market when it comes to production of any cell-based products. In food, we see strong interest in cultivated meat and seafood, especially where there are concerns around, food security, sustainability, and supply chain resilience. But our platform is broader than food, and the same high-density cell culture capability can be relevant to biopharma or other biomaterial companies. And that gives us multiple routes to market and makes the company more resilient.
So moving from tech into more on the business side and demand side, you've taken sort of deliberate position as an enabling technology and a licensing company rather than a consumer brand. So can you walk us through why that's the right strategy for this industry at this stage?
I would say we made that choice very deliberately. For this industry to scale, it needs companies that specialize in solving the hard infrastructure problems. And one of the biggest problems is how to grow sales efficiently, consistently, and economically at scale. And that is where we focus. Being an enabling technology company allows us to, support many product companies rather than competing with them. We can work with, any company operating across the value chain, be it like cultivated meat companies, seafood, dairy, coffee, chocolate, or biopharma company for that matter. In my view, it is also a more scalable and capital efficient model. And in many mature industries, we have already seen that the most valuable companies are often the ones providing the critical infrastructure. And that is the role we believe Cellular Agriculture Limited can play.
And then one of the partnerships that you mentioned previously was Hilton Food, and they came in as an equity investor and an industry partner. So maybe you can share a bit about what does a partnership like that unlock, both in terms of validation and in terms of practical scale up?
I think a partner like Hilton Foods brings industrial reality. They understand, high volume food production, supply chains, quality standards, cost structures, and the expectation of like major customers. And that perspective is extremely valuable when you are developing technology for commercial scale. For us, the partnership provides validation, but also practical insight. It also helps ensure that what we are building is not only scientifically interesting, but relevant to real food production. I believe when an organization with deep food industry experience decides to engage, and that is really meaningful. So basically, they help us connect, innovation with the realities of scale, cost, and deployment.
And from where you sit now, building the infrastructure layer, what does genuine commercial demand look like right now? And who's actually calling you up and wanting capacity?
I feel genuine demand is becoming more focused and more sophisticated. A few years ago, many conversations in this sector were about the vision. Today, the conversations are about, productivity, cost reduction, footprint, process performance, regulatory readiness, and scale up. The companies that approach us tend to fall into a few groups. Like first, definitely cellular agriculture companies that have a strong biology but need better infrastructure to scale. And second, I would say established food ingredient companies that want to understand how this technology could fit into future production. And lastly, companies beyond food, including biopharma, cosmetics, or biomaterials that are interested in efficient and high density cell culture.
Thank you, Vipul. And regarding Asia Pacific and collaboration here, so APAC is one of the major regions when it comes to cell, like you have Singapore, Japan, Korea, Australia, and so on. So are you seeing an interest from this region specifically, and what would an ideal partner or licensee in APAC look for your company?
Absolutely. I would say that we have been really active in Asian market, and APAC is a very important region for cellular agriculture as an industry. The region has a strong demand for protein, world-class engineering and biomanufacturing capability, and a serious focus on food security. As we know that Singapore was the first country to approve cultivated meat, way back in 2020. So Singapore has already played a leading role in the cultivated food sector. From my experience, I believe Japan and Korea bring deep strength in precision manufacturing, biotechnology, and industrial partnerships. Australia has a strong food, agriculture, and research ecosystem. For Cellular Agriculture Limited, I think an ideal APAC partner would have basically three things. First, a clear commercial use case. And second, the operational capability to work with, sorry, that was the fire alarm is Thursday. So second, the operational capability to work with us on validation and scale up. And third, the ambition to help build real production capacity in the region. That could be a cultivated food company, an established food producer, a biomanufacturing partner, or a biopharma cosmetic company, or a strategic investor. So, we are very open to collaboration, but most interested in partners who are serious about moving from concept to capacity.
Thank you, Vipul. And sort of like the closing remarks. So looking ahead, 12, 18 months ahead, what are the milestones that you're focused on? And if someone wants to, watching this as a potential investor, partner, food producer, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, if I talk about maybe, 1 or 1.5 year down the line, our focus is on moving the platform closer to commercial readiness. And that means advancing our bioreactor systems, generating strong process data, expanding partners' use cases, and demonstrating how hollow fiber technology can support scalable, cost-efficient cell culture. Commercially, the milestone is about proving that our platform can create a value for partners. Could be like better productivity, smaller footprint, improved economics, and a clearer path through deployment. And I think for investors and strategic partners, I would frame Cellular Agriculture Limited as an enabling infrastructure company for the wider bioeconomy. And lastly, the best way to reach us is directly to the Cellular Agriculture team. We would welcome conversations with organizations that are interested in scaling cell culture, technology in food and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vipul. Awesome to have you with us, and also welcome to the society. And I think we will finish there. So thank you again, Vipul.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Peter.
Thank you.